Ozonics Killerwinds podcast. Back again. I'm Cole. He's Nick. He's Nick. I'm Cole. Before we get started, I just want something unrelated to Ozonics. Very important, but not important. I may be updating Nick's nickname.
Oh, boy.
Hey. The crowd's excited.
Oh, yeah.
So Nick and I have been frequenting the dirt track races this summer, and everybody's got nicknames. Some of them are pretty cool. So I decided that Nick's dirt track nickname is Nick the Nuke Simon.
Yep.
And I self-appointed my nickname as Cole the Kamikaze Tanner.
Unbelievable, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. You can't tell me if you were out there and you looked in your rear mirror and you're like, uh-oh, there's the kamikaze.
Ooh, look out.
Coming into turn 3, the nuke, dive into the inside. That's you.
Yep.
The nuke.
Sick.
Nick, the Nuke Simon.
Yep.
So I'm just putting it out there. I think those are good nicknames.
Yeah.
Seriously. I don't know how much better you could get.
Yeah, I like it.
Nick, the Nuke Simon, Cole, the Kamikaze Tanner.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Okay, what are we talking about today?
So today I'm going to rip at you a couple questions. These are just some questions that we kind of came up with just from word of mouth, what we hear at the shows, social media, you name it. So
Yep.
we're just going to run through these questions, see how you answer them.
So I'm going to jump in there. Okay. So part of the reason that we're doing this, right? Just like you said, lots of questions that we get, but one thing that I feel like comes up so much when we're at the shows, especially, is you get a guy in the booth that is an absolute diehard with it and swears by it. And if they stand there long enough, I feel like we end up hearing the same thing.
Yeah.
They end up going, "God, man, I can't believe all these people walking by. They won't even give you guys the time of day. They won't even stop in here and talk to you. You can't,
Yeah.
They won't even let you, give them your spiel." I'm like, "No, dude, I know."
Yeah.
Like, man, do they know what they're missing out on? Like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not. And it's just, I think that's a question that we're always trying to figure out. And I think lots of brands and companies are, how do we reach more people?
Yeah.
How do we reach more customers? It's interesting because I feel like, you hear me say so much before that I always felt like it was the son, the dad, and the grandpa. That was like kind of the three people that use Ozonics. And we talked about, kind of like the different stages of ozone use. But I also feel like there's almost two groups of understanding or two groups of belief, one belief and one disbelief, or just this line in the sand of two groups, however you want to say it. This group on the left is the 18, 20 to 30-year-old guy. And then on the other side is the 40, 50, 60-year-old guy.
Mm-hmm.
The 40, 50, 60-year-old guy, those guys buy in.
Yeah.
They've seen it work. They've seen buddies use it. They use it themselves, and they really swear by it.
Yeah.
And it's not that the 18, 20, 30-year-old guy, there aren't believers in there too, but the majority of them, for whatever reason, don't.
Yeah.
We hear that at the shows. You'll have a group of young guys walk in, and there's usually like, if there's a group of 8 guys or 6 guys, there's 1 or 2 that are just like, "Yeah, man, dude, this thing changes it all."
Yeah.
And the rest of them kind of scoff at him.
Right.
Or they just kind of don't even give it the time. It's really bizarre.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no doubt. Yep.
And so I don't know why that is.
It's crazy.
I don't know why they're not listening.
Right.
Or not interested.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not interested, so they're not listening.
Yeah,
And they're not
right.
listening because they're not interested. It's
Right.
like kind of tomato.
Yeah.
And so we're always trying to figure out, how do we reach them in a new way? Part of the reason we're doing this podcast is everybody ingests information differently.
Yeah.
I'm an Instagram guy. Used to be a TikTok guy. You're an Instagram, YouTube guy. Twitter sometimes, right?
No, TikTok.
Okay,
sometimes.
TikTok,
I don't
sorry.
go on Twitter like at all.
Okay.
X, I should say.
Oh yeah. X. The X. Sorry, I don't know why I thought that. But then other people, they don't do any of that. They watch outdoor television.
Yeah.
And then the next guy doesn't have Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, and they're really all about YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they're none of all those, and then they're just on Facebook.
Yeah, yep.
And so we as a company are always trying to figure out how do we reach people in new ways.
Yeah.
And that's part of why we're here doing this, because there's people that really enjoy listening to podcasts.
Yep.
But again, to get back to your point, these are just questions that I wish that these younger guys, men and women that maybe aren't using it, would hear.
Yeah, exactly.
And could help them understand, like, hey man, take it or leave it, but this can really help you.
Yeah.
And so we kind of came up with some stuff that I feel like when I do have a chance to answer these questions in front of people, they go, all right, I'm going to walk away having a different perspective. I might not be buying in,
Right.
but okay, you gave me some food for thought. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no doubt.
Because I know it sounds cheesy and cliche or whatever it is, but what I love about Ozonics is Ozonics really helps people. It helps people get closer to animals. It helps people maximize opportunity, helps people be more successful.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part of the job.
Yeah,
That
no
makes it worth it
For sure.
when the days get long and we're pushing hard on different things, and you go to the shows and there's such a feeling of, just satisfaction when you get the guy that walks up and like, hey man, shot the biggest deer of my entire life last year. I took my boy out and he shot the biggest deer of his life. We saw this deer that we never could get on the hoof, all those types of things. It makes it so fun. And so it's just like, I'm always like, how do we get more people to see that?
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's, I think, what kind of the basis of these questions are, and we'll just see where it goes.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to try not to be too short, but I'm trying not to be too winded on these.
Yeah.
So we don't have a whip, but we maybe should get a stick, and then you could just like whack me on the side of the head if I get going too far.
Yeah.
Or I could just give you this pen, you throw the pen at me.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Okay.
All right.
Rapid fire. Question number 1.
Question number 1. How often will I need to spray down if I'm using Ozonics?
Never. Question number 2.
How many?
No, seriously though. What I will say about that, because we get that all the time, and it's even more than just about spraying down. We're not trying to beat up on that specifically, just any other types of scent control.
Yes.
We get that all the time. Well, what else? What about spraying down? What about cover scents? What about shampoos and conditioners? What about all the other things that I do right now? That's totally up to you. Do you have to spray down? My experience will say that you don't have to, because for me, when I sprayed down, it didn't matter if I gave an inch or a mile, I was still giving.
Yeah.
I got winded either way. Close only counts on horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yep.
So for me, spraying down never worked. And so, but if you believe in that, okay, fine. I think that scent control for a lot of people is like building blocks, that you're trying to build up these blocks to get over this hurdle of success. And so if spraying down is a part of what you do, fine. But my question always is, with sprays and everything else, what happens when you get animals on the downwind side? What happens? And everybody's answer is the same thing. You get winded.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? How much? Let's just say the majority of the time.
Yeah.
So if you're getting winded the majority of the time, then why are you doing it anyway? And for me, the reason I say you never have to again is because when I use Ozonics, not every single time, but the majority of the time, I get away with it. Where you get winded the majority of the time, I get away with it the majority of the time.
Yeah.
That's where my thought process comes from on that.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
makes sense? So
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't do any of that stuff, and you can attest to it. I just wear my normal deodorant. I don't spray down. It is what it is. I run an Ozonics in the field, and I use that to eliminate my odor. That's where I'm going with it. Is it 100%? No, nothing is, but I see it work the majority of the time.
Yeah, we don't use that stuff.
Yeah.
And half the time we're hunting together.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other part about it too is a lot of guys they're doubling everything, and they're doubling their scent, they're doubling their movement, they're doubling their impact.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And so, yeah. And like you said, we just don't do any of it. I'll never forget that when we first started hunting together, you were like, I was like, yeah, let's go out. Let's sneak out like an hour. Let's get out. And you're like, we can't go today. Why not? Well, how are we going to shower? Like, how are we going to do? I'm like, I don't do any of that. We're just going to go. And you're like, you were flabbergasted.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh.
All right, how many do I need for when I go hunting?
Well, that's just right up the alley of what we just said. 1 Ozonics for each hunter. So if you're hunting with a buddy, you need to each have one.
Yes.
You put a lot of strain on one ozone unit to cover 2 people. And more than anything, even the other thing about that is people are like, well, some of these ozonics produce so much more ozone than they did before. You're absolutely right. But you need to remember each of you are producing like a scent cone or a scent stream. You follow me? If you were to take, you know, my kids love smoke bombs, right? Those fireworks smoke bombs that you let them off and it's just all this smoke. If you and him were each in a tree stand and you let that smoke bomb and you held it, you're going to have 2 streams of smoke going away.
Right.
You follow me? So the reality is that Ozonics is treating you, not treating you, treating the odor coming off you right at the source.
Yeah.
Do you follow me?
Yep.
It's really that 0 to 3 foot. That's where we're trying to get it right at the source. Well, your source is right here and the other one's over here. It's just too much to overcome.
Right.
Do you follow me? The only situation where you may be able to use one is if, let's say you're sitting in a ladder stand, sitting right beside each other, shoulder to shoulder, and the wind is blowing right to left or left to right, straight across you,
Right.
like a crosswind, where all of a sudden the source of your odor is one. Does that make sense? That may be the only situation where really 1 Ozonics would make sense.
Yeah.
But in other situations, you're each producing your own source. You need an Ozonics at each of those sources.
For sure. Yep.
Does that make sense?
No doubt. No doubt.
So that's how I would say that. Question number 2 in the books. All right. Question number 3. Just go ahead. I had a little bit of a stutter there for a second.
Can you describe Ozonics in only 3 words?
That's a tough one. I'm going to go with undetectable, undeniable, game changer.
So that's 4.
Oh, crap. You're right. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. 4 words.
That 4, that's a good.
You know
we
what?
all know what you mean.
What about if you just put a dash in there?
Yeah,
and
there
made
you
it
go.
Game changer. Does that make it one word if you
Yep.
put a dash in there?
Yep.
Even if you're in Microsoft Word and it gives you the line, you can just ignore the error.
I'm the official here in this game, and I'm going to count it. So
Okay. So here's what I'll say about that. Maybe that sounds a little cheesy because it literally says undetectable, undeniable on your shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's
right there, too.
Yeah, it's in the name.
Yep.
But there's a lot of truth in that, okay? In the fact that I really believe that when you hunt with an Ozonics, you can go out there and you can feel undetectable.
Yeah.
I've heard Scott, the owner of Ozonics, say this so much about how we affect an animal's behavior when we go deer hunting, anytime we go hunting. And there's so much truth in that. And when you can be undetectable, you really start to see animals behave in just their normal way.
Yeah.
Not in a affected way based on your odor or whatever it may be, especially your odor, right? Because their eyes may play tricks, their eyes may play tricks. You know, sometimes their ears fool them, but their nose doesn't lie.
Yeah.
When they see it or hear it and they don't like it, they circle to the downwind side to smell it. Smelling is the truth for them, right? Their nose is the truth. And when you can use Ozonics, you can feel undetectable out there. So that's my first thing. The undeniable, initially, I think what I think of is it's undeniable what it does. Ozone doesn't discriminate. It's going to oxidize on whatever it comes in contact with. It's going to help eliminate your odor. That's what it does. I think years ago, I think Scott, the owner, really fought so many other companies and people about that undeniability. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't real. That doesn't work like it does. There's that snake oil, blah, 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 blah. I think that's where the undetectable, undeniable, from my perspective, it just where that means so much is it is really undeniable what it will do for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then again, I was only supposed to say one word and I'm a dingling and I said 2, but I do really believe that it changes the game.
For sure.
I mean,
No doubt it does.
you've heard me say this 100 times. When we're at the shows and a guy walks in and he's the guy that's on the fence, what do I tell him? All right, man, here's the thing. Buy one, hunt the way you hunt. Don't change a thing. But what's going to happen to you is what happens to everybody. You're going to get out there and you're going to be in a situation where you should get winded and you won't.
Yes.
And in that moment, the light bulb will go on and the wheels will start to turn and you're going to think, holy cow, what else can I do? I said, and then you remember that I said I told you so. And you come back here next year and you walk in the booth and let's have a conversation. How many guys have done that?
A lot.
Walk in the booth, you go, and they like walk out like to me. They walk around to me and they go like, you remember me?
I'm going to say is if you have a number in your head, double it.
Yeah.
A lot of people do.
It's wild.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. And that is the game changer part of it, where all of a sudden, man, you feel like you're playing a different game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, okay, now here we go.
Yeah.
Now let's do this. And so that's where I think the game changer part, when you really start to see it work and then you think, okay, how else can I use this to my advantage? How else can I push the limits in ways that I've never been able to do before?
Yeah.
It feels like with scent control, there's like these laws and these rules of things this is the way it is. They're just set in stone.
Yeah.
And you're basically just taking a stick of dynamite and be like sticking it right in the middle and be like, okay, everybody stand back. Boom. Right? Okay, now we can go that way. You couldn't see over there before. Now you can.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just wild.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Hey, question 3 in the books. Question 4.
Is this safe for me to breathe in?
We get that a lot. About safety. Here's the most important thing. If you're using Ozonics the right way, we're not trying to treat you. We're trying to treat the odor coming off of you.
Yeah.
If you're using it the right way, that ozone is getting exhausted in the downwind side. You shouldn't be smelling it. If you're in a ground blind, we're not trying to treat the air in the blind. We're trying to treat the air leaving the blind. You shouldn't be smelling it.
Yeah.
You follow me? I can't tell you how many times I've taken guys out and get it all set up and they say like, all right, man, turn it on. It's like, it's on, dude. Well, I can't smell anything. It's like, dude, you don't need to be smelling
Not
it.
supposed to.
Yep. If you're smelling it, that's a great indicator that the wind has switched, right? That I need to adjust how I have that Ozonics positioned.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that's my biggest thing when it comes to safety is if you set it up the right way, exhausted the downwind side, you shouldn't be breathing it in.
Yeah. Good answer.
Question number 5.
Question number 5. We just had to take a trail cam break. Sorry for that. But number 5 would be, can you Okay, question number 5. Question number 5 would be, can you describe the science in one sentence? What is?
Yikes. Describe it in the science in 1 second. We're using ozone to alter the molecular structure of your odor. That ozone is oxidizing on your odor and it's changing that molecular structure so that that animal doesn't perceive your odor as a threat anymore. They're trying to smell the number 5. When ozone comes in contact with it, goes from 5 down to 2. This isn't 5. This is 2. Those fingers are still on my hand. This is way longer than one sentence.
They're still there.
Still there, but I'm not holding them up.
Boom.
Changing the molecular structure of your odor so that animal doesn't perceive it as a threat. Through
Beautiful.
Oxidation on the ozone on your odor molecule.
Beautiful.
That's the science way.
All right, seriously, my phone is going crazy right now due to trail cam pictures. I'm just going to say that just because.
Golly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
hold on a second. Just to put it in there, let's talk about the redneck way of explaining it quick. Imagine your odor's a password. The password is the word human. Human. Deer know the password when you go out there hunting. When they smell human, the olfactory sensors on their nose tell the brain a message, danger, right? No different than a pheasant hunting dog. When it smells a pheasant, that olfactory sensor of the nose stops that dog, points, flushes, whatever. Same thing with deer. When they smell that, that means danger, run. When ozone comes in contact with that odor, it takes off the H and it takes off the N. Now it's not the word human anymore. It's the word UMA. When they smell UMA, it doesn't mean human. Okay?
beautiful.
The other analogy that I really like is the beach ball analogy.
Yep.
Your odor is a beach ball. If you have that beach ball full of air, okay, that's your odor. Ozone is a pin. When you pop the beach ball with that ozone, all of a sudden, all the air comes rushing out of that beach ball. All the molecular structure comes rushing out. And now it just becomes like this shriveled up little thing. It's still a beach ball, but if I threw that to my kid, said, "Hey, Bobo, what is this?" I don't know. Like, it's beach ball. No, it's not. Because a beach ball to her is this big blown up
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
So again, that's another way to think about it, right?
Yep.
The ozone is the pin and the molecular structure is the air holding the beach ball out. You let all that structure out and it's still a beach ball, but not really. It's not what you perceive a beach ball as.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go.
Very good.
And you got the hiccups. You got notifications and hiccups. You got a lot going on over there.
Okay, tell me, why do hunters need this?
Why do hunters need this? I said it earlier. What happens when you get deer on the downwind side?
Wind ya.
That's my question to every single guy. A guy that walks up and says, I don't need it. I'm good to go. I'm pretty successful with it without it. I've got my regiment going. No problem. Only question to answer is what happens when you get deer on the downwind side. And like we said, the majority of people, the answer is, and the majority of the time, you get winded.
Get winded.
You get winded.
Busted.
And what I'm telling you is that even for that guy that's super skeptical and is like, why do I need this? Or I don't need it. What about if I told you that I could get you 10? I could get you 10 extra seconds, 10 extra feet, 10 extra steps, 10 extra yards, 10 extra anything closer to that deer.
Yep.
What deer could you have shot if you had 10 extra?
Yeah, exactly.
You follow?
Heck,
And-
10 extra days in some points.
Well, and so what about if I could get you that little bit extra? You know what I'm saying? It's like, look at a NASCAR race. If you look at a NASCAR race and look at a dirt track race, no different. Look at sprint car dirt track racing. Look at a 410 final, and if they have a time, the time between first and last is not that far. Seconds, but guess what? There's only one guy that wins.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the guy in the first place.
Yep.
You go to any of those guys, say, hey, guess what, man? I'll give you an extra 10 seconds. What would they do? They'd be like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah,
I'll give you an
exactly.
extra half a second.
Yeah, no doubt.
They'd sign up for that.
Yep.
You follow me? And that's what I feel like Ozonics can do. You're already running the race as hard as you possibly can, as fast as you can, and you're finishing how you finish. But what about if it give you a little extra? And that's what an Ozonics can do for you. It will give you a very clear and inherent advantage that you don't have right now.
And that's why you need it.
That's why you need it.
Boom. All right, question number 7.
Number 7.
Does it work 100% of the time?
No, it does not. We get that question a lot about, is it 100% effective? Nothing is 100%. Go buy bleach at the grocery store. It says 99.9% effective. You know what I'm saying? If it was 100% effective and it worked every single time, I don't know if we'd be able to sell them. You think states would probably like outlaw them or something if it was 100% effective. It just doesn't work like that. There's just too many variables. You follow me?
Yeah.
And so does it give you a huge leg up? Yes, it does. But there are times that I see it not work. And I guess if you really held a gun to my head, I'd say I kind of want it to be that way because it's still hunting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not called killing. It's called hunting.
Yeah.
You follow me? And there are certain people, we get in this conversation too, where guys will walk up and like, that don't use them and like, why not? And they'll say, you know, man, honestly, I kind of have a moral, ethical issue with it. Like I know guys that use it and I know how much of an advantage, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
And I get where you're coming from. I get it. The hard thing is the sport of hunting has been evolving since somebody picked up a stick and whittled it and figured out a way to connect a string to it and whip an arrow. You know, it's been evolving for a long time and it will continue to evolve way past where we're at now.
Yeah.
And I understand there is a certain aspect where we have to self-police, you know, where we're at on things. I just don't think that this is where it's at.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like, because again, I go out there and it still at times doesn't work. I mean, it's not 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
So does it work for me 8 out of 10 times? Yes, it does. But is it 100%? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Good answer. Is it safe to use Ozonics with my clothes?
You get that one a lot too. If you use the Ozonics with the dry wash mode, meaning that it's pulsing that coil on and off, it's the right amount of ozone for the right amount of time. So it pushes ozone on the gear, and then it pumps fresh air to get the ozone off. If you treat your clothes with that dry wash mode, you'll be fine. It's not going to be too much. If you go and pump ozone indiscriminately on your gear for, excessive amounts of time, absolutely it's going to hurt the gear. Rubbers, elastics are really sensitive. You've been at the shows and seen guys walk up. I've had guys walk up, big dudes, little dudes, whatever it might be. It's usually the big that you're a little more scared of. The big dude walks up and says, "We'll never use Ozonics again." Well, they say Ozonics, they mean ozone.
Yeah,
It's 9 out of 10 times not even us.
Yeah.
Took my Sitka Fanatic bibs, put them in the tote, pumped ozone there for, an afternoon and evening till the next morning, came out, pulled the elastic, tried to grab my elastic straps. The straps came up and all my bibs stayed in the bottom. Just ate it away. Yeah, man, absolutely. Let me guess, you just pumped ozone in there all night long. You had your Ozonics in there, put it on boost mode, just left it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. You can't do that, man.
Yeah.
It's an oxidant. It's very, very powerful.
Yeah.
So you got to use it the right way. If you use it with that dry wash mode, you won't have any problem.
Yeah.
But it's all about the right amount of ozone for the right amount of time.
Yep.
That's where it's at.
That dry wash mode is there for a reason.
Yeah. And like you said, I've been dry washing gear for years and years and years. Never had a lick of problems with boots, with elastic, with any of that stuff. But you just got to use it in the right way.
Right.
What's next?
Does it work in all hunt scenarios? What if I'm spot and stalking?
Yes, it can work in all scenarios. Obviously, what most people gravitate towards is using it in a tree stand, having it on a mounting system, having it in a stationary position, and adjusting the unit accordingly. But you can use it on a spot and stalk hunt. We have the kinetic pack. It's a great way to be able to fit the Ozonics in the top of the pack. And wherever you go, it's going to be exhausting ozone, helping eliminate your odor.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, I think what even more than just spotting and stalking, and I think this is a thing that even avid Ozonics users tend to forget, they use it in the stand, but they emit odor all the way in and all the way out.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yep.
I said this word earlier in the podcast, impact. You may go in the woods or you may sneak through the woods and you're only there for a short amount of time. You physically are only there for a short amount of time. I said this earlier in the podcast, and it was the word impact. A guy that runs it in the tree stand but doesn't use it on the way in and out, he physically may sneak through the woods or sneak through to set a trail camera, and you're only there for a short amount of time, but your odor stays behind. Your odor lets the deer know that you were there.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me?
Yep.
And so if you can help eliminate that and run your Ozonics all the time on the way in and out and lessen that impact, that's what it can do for you.
Yeah, for sure.
I always talk about the dam and the river. The Ozonics is the dam. The river is your odor. If you've got that dam all the way down, you block the water, you ain't letting it through. You lift up that dam and you let that water through, you're not going to put it back.
Yeah.
Once it's downstream, it's out of your hands.
Yeah.
You follow me? And that's what the Ozonics can be. You got to keep that dam down.
Yeah.
You follow?
Yep.
And so don't let the water by. You're not putting it back. Help lessen your impact by using Ozonics the whole time. I mean, elk hunting is right around the corner. Spotting and stalking on elk hunt, you're going to end up smelling like a fart the whole time. You're going to be sweaty and everything else.
Yeah.
Help eliminate that odor.
For sure.
I have to sneeze.
Oh, that makes me feel a better.
I've had 21 notifications.
Would you just relax? Golly. They're just standing there.
I don't care.
You just think World Traveler's just waiting to waltz in.
What if he's there and we don't have it?
If he is, don't even do it because we're not going to get any more podcasts on. I'm going to be surfing on the table, taking my shirt off, acting like a helicopter.
It'd be kind of funny.
No. We can't afford to break any equipment today. I will. If he's on camera right now, I'm going to take this mic.
Okay.
I'm going to throw it against that wall.
Okay, let me check.
Okay, I'm just no. Hold on a second. If he's on camera, and I break this mic, you have to buy another one.
Deal.
Is there? Is there? Is there? He's not there.
But that
Oh, man, you got me kind of nervous there. That was a long pause. You just need to relax. You're getting ahead of yourself here.
sorry.
You're getting it's just like the saying goes, you're getting the cart in front of the horse.
Why?
Next question.
Next question. What if I already have a scent control protocol that I believe in? I think you kind of already hit on this, but let's hit on it again.
Yeah. Yep. Keep doing what you're doing. I tell people when you first start hunting with the Ozonics, don't change a thing. You hear me talk about this all the time. Hunt the right way. Hunt the right stand on the right day on the right wind. Do what you do. Do your scent control just how you do it.
Yep.
But exhausted ozone the downwind side.
Yep.
Because, like I said earlier, what happens when you get deer on the downwind side? They most likely wind you. That's with the scent control that you're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
And so just do what you do, exhaust the ozone, and watch what happens.
Yep.
And that's my biggest thing. Just hunt the way you hunt. Don't even think about the Ozonics. Just do exactly what you would do before. Just exhaust it in the downwind side. And when you see it work, like everybody does, then start pushing it.
Yeah, exactly.
You follow me?
Yep.
Then start figuring, okay, now how can I push it where I can give myself that little extra? Or I feel like he's going to walk down this fence, like I can set this stand that's a little salty. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's where it comes in for me.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Next
Love
question.
Does the Ozonics wear out?
It's a great question. Does the Ozonics wear out? You know, I think it's really commendable where Scott, the owner of Ozonics, falls on this. You know, the Ozonics are going to produce ozone forever, right? They're going to produce ozone for a really long time. But we always talk about that optimum ozone output.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of ozone when it leaves, you know, our facilities, right? That it's at that right number. What ends up happening is that coil over the course of time gets dirty. We're pushing air through that unit. Dust and debris can collect on that coil.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, after a lot of use, it can fall outside of that number.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is commendable for Scott. He could just say, is it going to produce ozone? Yeah, it produces ozone. You're good to go, right? But we want it to be running at its best it possibly can, right?
Yeah.
So what we tell people is generally you're going to get 3 to 4 years of use out of it before you need to think about replacing that coil. The cool thing about the new HR 600 is you can replace the coil yourself.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you're the guy that's like, you know what? I'm a little paranoid and I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it every season. Go for it. If you hunt in real dusty country and you drop it and all of a sudden it looks like a dust bowl coming out the front, probably time to change it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So now you can change it yourself, which is pretty killer.
Yep.
But again, the idea is we're trying to keep it at that optimum ozone output. I always tell people, think about the Ozonics like a ceiling fan in your house. If you look up at your ceiling fan, it looks like it's totally fine. You climb up on a ladder, you can about play tic-tac-toe on the blades.
Yeah.
It's not that your house is dirty, but that fan is constantly circulating air.
Mm-hmm.
And naturally, over the course of time, it collects dust.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the same as the coil. You can do yourself a huge favor and step in the right direction by going and get a can of dry compressed air, spray off that coil once or twice a season, keep it clean. No pun intended, you'll be blown away by how much dust will come out of the front of the unit.
Yeah. Yep.
You didn't even laugh. I thought it was pretty fun. That was a pun. If you didn't know that's a pun, that was a pun. You'd be blown away. Pun.
All right. Here is the last question. I think it's the best question.
Uh-oh.
You ready?
Last question.
After all that being said,
Uh-oh.
what's the dang catch?
There is no catch. Honestly, we get that a lot too. What's the catch? There is no catch. The catch is that Ozonics is a company of a handful of people, you know, owned by a guy that's a passionate hunter that really, really believes in it. And we all really believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all here because it really makes a difference for people. And
Yeah.
it can really make a difference for you too.
Yep.
And there is no catch. Like, just like the name says, Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. It can help you become undetectable in the woods, and it's undeniable what it will do.
Yep.
We talk about the science, we talk about the setup, and we talk about the success. Once you understand the science of what ozone does and how it's going to oxidize when it comes in contact with, it doesn't discriminate, right? Once you understand that, you can apply that to the setup of how you use it and make sure you have that Ozonics, putting the downwind direction, having that ozone come in contact with your odor. That setup and the science is going to lead to you becoming more successful. That's the catch, I guess. There is no catch. It really, really works. Mic drop.
Drop.
Whoa. Oh.
Awesome. That was very good.
Hey, are we ending the podcast? Because I don't know if I can do it any better.
I think you knocked it out of the park.
I mean, if we were golfing, I feel like I hit the ball pretty pure today. I duffed one on the 3 words, made it 4, but we're gonna.
That's all right.
Hey, you get a gimme off a tee every once in a while.
Yep. Nice job.
All right. Well, I think that's a good episode. I think we really knocked it out of the park there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Moral of the story: there's always got to be a moral of the story. Moral of the story is there may be some people listening to this that, on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it feels like we kind of have 2 groups of guys that are believing and guys that just aren't believing.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the questions I feel like we get a lot when it comes to the guys that aren't believing.
No doubt.
So it's not that we are trying to make you a believer, but we're also just saying, think about it. Cause at the end of the day, I think it can really help you.
For sure. Yep. Well said.
Hey, another podcast in the books. Ozonics Killerwinds podcast. He's the nuke. I'm the kamikaze. Over and out.
See you next week.
Stay classy.